afternoon, boys and girls. It's Miss Jenny again, ready for devotion. Hope you're enjoying these. You know, a week or so ago, we talked about tattletaling and just keep telling on our friends very silly things that if we kept doing that, we might not be believed when there was something of importance. And remember, actually we spent 2 days on this and it was so much fun. You all shared. And remember, I certainly remember you, Gannon, I told you I had a book called A Bad Case of Tattletong. And I promised you, Gannon, I would read this book. And several of others of you knew the book and wanted me to read it. And I didn't have a chance to bring it in because we all got to stay at home. So I'm going to read it for you now. Now, bear with me. I have not read this book in several years because actually I've really not had anybody have a tattletong. So let's see what the book says about tattletongs. Josh had a big problem with tattling. In fact, he tattled all the time. He tattled so much that everyone called him Josh the Tattler. Josh tattled on Tommy when he butted in line in front of Philippe. In class, Josh tattled on Carson when he took Joseph's new pencil and wouldn't give it back. Josh tattled so much that nobody wanted to sit by him during lunch. He had to sit by himself at the end of the table. At recess, Josh tattled on Bobette for not sharing the tricky bars with Edith. Nobody wanted to play with him, so he had to stand by the wall all alone. At home, Josh tattled on his dog Max when he chewed up Mum's new rug, even though Max did not do it on purpose. Josh even tattled on his brother Teddy when he grabbed the TV remote right out of his hand. Josh Jacob Jones, his mother said in a gruff voice, I am sick and tired of you tattling. If you don't stop tattling, you're going to get tattletong. Tattletong, replied Josh. What is tattletong? Tattletong is really bad. Tattletong will make you sad. Your tongue turns yellow and then starts to itch. Before you know it, you start to twitch. Your teeth will begin to scratch. Itchy, itchy, scratchy, scratchy, titchy, witchy, catchy, catchy. Purple spots will start to show upon your tongue, and then you'll know that tattletong is what you have. And tattletong is very bad. Oh, and by the way, said his mother, each time you tattle, your yellow and purple tongue will get longer and longer. It may get so long it won't even fit in your mouth. Josh ran into the bathroom, looked in the mirror and stuck out his tongue. Oh, his tongue was not yellow and it did not have purple spots. Or did it? Josh leaned in closer to the mirror for a really good look. His tongue didn't look any longer and it seemed to fit in his mouth just fine. Still, he couldn't be sure. The next day, Josh heard Billy, the bully, tell Tommy that he was going to beat up Edith after school. Josh ran right up to his teacher, Mr. Cool, to tell on Billy. But when he opened his mouth, he remembers what his mum had said. Itchy, itchy, scratchy, scratchy, twitchy, twitchy, catchy, catchy. Yes, Josh, what can I do for you? Asked Mr. Cole. I forgot, Josh said, and then he slowly returned to his seat. After school, when Josh saw Billy the bully stomping towards Edith, he knew what Billy was going to do. He had to tell someone. Josh ran up to Principal Gates, who was standing on the corner. "Hi, Josh, what can I do for you?" asked Principal Gates. Josh opened his mouth to tell on Billy the bully. But then he thought again about what his mum had said. Itchy, itchy, scratchy, scratchy, twitchy, twitchy, catchy, catchy. I forgot, said Josh. And then he turned around and walked home. That night, while Josh was sleeping, the Tattle Prince paid him a visit. "Joshua, I see you have a big problem with tattling," said the Tattle Prince. Josh looked at the Tattle Prince, who was staring at his mouth. Just then, his tongue began to itch. Itchy, itchy, scratchy, scratchy. Josh sat up and looked in the mirror, stuck his tongue out. He gasped. He had tattle tongue. His tongue was yellow. It was bright purple spots. It definitely was longer. It even poked through his lips with his mouth closed. "But this time, I didn't tattle," said Josh, trying to move his tongue inside. "I didn't tattle on Billy the bully. I wanted to tell, but I didn't. I held it all in." "That would not have been tattling, Josh," said the Tattle Prince. "That would have been a warning. Edith could have gotten hurt." "Warning, tattling, what's the difference?" Josh asked. "The difference," said the Tattle Prince, "is danger." Was Edith in danger? "Yes," said Josh. "Then you should have warned somebody," the Tattle Prince said. "The other day when Tommy butted in line in front of Philippe." "Was Tommy or Philippe in danger?" asked the Tattle Prince. "No," said Josh. "Then that little buddy was tattling. And that is why your tongue is sprouting those lovely spots. You obviously have not learned the tattle rules." "There are rules for tattling?" Josh asked. "There are rules for almost everything," said the Tattle Prince. "And if you want to lose that funny-looking tongue, you'll learn them." The Tattle Prince reached into his pocket and pulled out a piece of fancy rolled-up paper. It was the Tattle Rules. Rule 1. Be a danger ranger. Rule 2. Be a problem solver. Rule 3. Now or later. Rule 4. Mind your own beeswax. Rule 1, began the Tattle Prince. Be a danger ranger. If a person or an animal is in danger, you must warn someone. When Edith was in danger, did you warn Principal Gates? "No," Josh said. "I was trying not to tattle." "That was not tattling, Josh." The Tattle Prince explained. "That was warning, and you should have told someone." Number 2, be a problem solver. If the problem involves you, take charge and try hard to solve it if you can yourself first. When Carson took your pencil, did you ask him politely to give it back? "No," Josh said. "I told Mr. Cool. Then all of my friends, even my best friend Stuart, got mad at me." Rule number 3, now or later. Is the problem a now problem or a not now problem? Can your problem be solved at a later time? When Carson took your pencil, did you have another one you could have used? Asked the Tattle Prince. "Yes," said Josh. "But it wasn't my new cool pencil." "Was it a pencil you could write with?" I guess so," said Josh. "Then that was not now a problem. You could have used your spare pencil until Mr. Cool had time to talk with you alone about your problem." Rule number 4. If the problem is not dangerous and it does not involve you, do not tattle. What do you mean? Asked Josh. The other day you tattled on Bobette for not sharing the tricky bars with Edith. You know about that too, asked Josh. Who do you think gave you Tattle Tong? Replied the Tattle Prince. When it comes to you and tattling, I know everything. The Bobette situation was not dangerous. It had nothing to do with you, so you should not have tattled. Joshua, the Tattle Prince, continued, do you think you will enjoy having weird-looking tongue that keeps getting longer for the rest of your life? No, said Josh, then learn, kid. If the problem is not dangerous and it has nothing to do with you, do not tattle. Yes, sir, Josh replied. The tattling prince grinned at Josh. Then he took a shiny sceptre from his belt and began to wave it in the air. He pointed the sceptre at Josh's mouth, and with a puff of yellow and purple smoke, he disappeared. Josh felt something strange in his mouth. He stuck out his tongue and he looked in the mirror. There, stuck on his tongue, were pieces of yellow and purple glitter. When Josh woke up the next morning, he flipped on the light, ran over to his mirror and stuck out his tongue. No yellow tongue, no purple spots, no itching, no glitter. His case of Tattle Tong was gone. By the time Josh got to school, he was feeling pretty good about himself. With the Tattle Prince's help, Josh was now an expert on tattling. When Josh's class lined up in the morning to go to school, Eddie pushed Josh and then cut in front of 2 other kids so he could be first in line. Josh remembered Mum's words. Itchy, itchy, scratchy, scratchy, twitchy, twitchy, catchy, catchy. Then he remembered the Tattle Prince's rules. He decided not to tattle. Stuart noticed right away. He asked Josh if he would sit by him at lunch. Maybe he will even ask me to play at recess, Josh thought. When Josh walked into his classroom, he couldn't believe his eyes. Mr. Cool had gotten so tired of everyone tattling on each other that he had written his own tattle rules upon the board. Mr. Cool reached into his briefcase and pulled out a shiny new pointer. Just as he pointed it to the first tattle rule, something sparkly fell down to the ground. Was it? Could it possibly be? It was. It was yellow and purple glitter. After Josh's visit with the Tattle Prince, he never had problems with tattling, and he never worried about getting Tattle Tong again. Itchy, itchy, scratchy, scratchy, twitchy, twitchy, catchy, catchy. I hope you all enjoyed that story, and remember, we don't need to tattle. If there's a problem and it's serious, then we tell somebody, but we don't need to tattle on people, especially when we have Jesus in our heart, because who sees everything? You're right, Jesus sees everything. He doesn't need us to give him a report on what everybody does. He's got it all in hand. So let's praise Jesus and God with the prayer that God gave to Jesus to share with us. Please put your hands together. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those that trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, for ever and ever. Amen. I can see you all giving God a hand clap. Yay for God. Until next time. Bye-bye.